And we're back. Welcome back to the Perils and Princesses After Talk Tea Party. No?
Sorry, Princesses of the Realms.
Fuck. Let's start again. They're too similar.
I liked how nervous you started.
Did I?
You went, hello.
I can do this. I've got this. And we're back. Welcome to Princesses of the Realms After Talk Tea Party. This is the end of the season 1 finale for the Princesses of the Realms podcast. My name is Tally. I'm joined with Alicia, Holly, and Cassandra.
Hello.
Jazz is sadly missing for this episode.
She's been missing for months.
Yeah, missing for months. We're actually
We haven't been able to find her.
Jasmine.
we've got her on some milk cartons, so like just be extra careful when you're drinking that if you do like me.
And if you're hearing us right now, Jasmine,
We love
come
you.
back.
We miss
love
you.
Come back.
Please come
I've
home.
got sugar cubes. It's okay. We can get you here. Purpose of this episode is we are here to answer some questions. Some questions Holly has amazingly prepared for us, as well as potentially some fan theories and where to take the show after season 1.
Absolutely. So, for context, we recorded that on one weekend 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was a bulk
True.
record. So if it sounds like we were getting like more insane towards the end, it was because we were. And it's awesome. It was a really great time. But it means that we have also just listened to the finale. Everyone aside from Holly who obviously did the editing on that. We're all listening to this for the first time too. So like about 5 minutes ago we finished the season finale ourselves. So we're fresh off of this as well. It was quite exciting to hear for the first time.
I think the funniest thing that kept happening though was Cass like predictably going, oh, this is how I would react in this situation. And then immediately the exact same thing would happen in the recording. That was hilarious.
It's the way I listen to podcasts. Whenever I'm in listening to a podcast, I'm like, what would I be feeling? What would I be thinking in this situation? What would I do? And then I'm actually in the podcast and I appreciate that I'm consistent. Because every time I'd just be like, oh, I wonder what I would do here. And then I just did that.
Yeah, I really think it speaks a lot to the strength of your character as just like a person, like how consistent you are in your beliefs and your convictions, because they just were exactly the same.
Thanks.
It's a good thing. It's great.
I love being predictable and,
It's not
boring.
predictable. It's just consistent.
Yeah.
You haven't changed in 6 months.
True. Yeah.
Like that's kind of like my favorite meta moment, I guess. But what was your favorite moment from listening to the series over the last couple of weeks?
I love the earless rabbit bit. It is so funny.
It's the worst.
I've listened to it like twice now. Twice, 3 times over. After like hearing it in passing from my partner listening to the podcast, it was just great. It just made me cry of laughter every time. I think Alicia's like delivery of every line was just really fucking funny.
Was that my idea?
It was both of us, but you just kept bringing up how it was like coming towards us every time.
Yes. Because as the image of the rabbit was devolving, I imagined that it was a threat to us.
And you just kept, you kept like, we'd like try and work out a description that was getting terrible and unhinged, but then you would like turn it into like, this thing is actually a threat coming towards us now.
And I felt that it was.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Okay.
it's a scary image for sure.
I think
Poor Cobbles, I must say.
Oh, Cobbles, trapped in there with that thing. I think we all had like moments where we were like yes anding, and there are like some standout bits.
I think it's more honest.
I think I like the way it is right now.
We stayed true to ourselves and
Yeah.
our characters.
But so like the earless rabbit was a very great yes and moment. Was there any other like yes and moments that you guys could think of?
I can think
Or
of
that you were
like
surprised by?
a no but moment. And it's when I we all, because it was just a one line.
Airing
I'm
some
not
beef
sure
right now.
why I said it, to be honest, and I apologize. But I tried to, I guess, make it a thing that me and Melina were banging. Can I say that?
Yep.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
say that.
We've said way worse things on the podcast.
I
You
know,
can say
but
that.
hearing that back in that episode, I was like, wow, you're going to just leave me here stranded. And then I had to circle and be like, I guess we didn't. Guess it was just a dream.
Guess it was an hallucination.
Melina bad as fuck. Have you guys seen the character? Holy moly.
Yeah, I do wish I looked like that, I'll be honest.
Ooh, I love the character out. Shout out to Maeve, who
Yeah, Maeve did such an incredible job.
amazing job at it.
Amazing.
On Maeve, I think one of my other favorite yes and moments, I think Maeve animated the quiche, or something. Ending with, it's a rock or something.
That was pretty good. I really liked that. I really liked seeing the animatics.
The animatic was great.
They were awesome.
Yeah. I liked the horse one as well that Jasmine was pretty funny.
Thank you, Jasmine Maeve.
Yeah.
Nobody could have anticipated the magical girl transformation that horse underwent.
I liked the illustration of like you at the whiteboard just like scribbling
I loved it too. I didn't anticipate that being a shot in like the animatic, and then it was that.
Yeah,
You.
no,
It was you.
How do you represent a DM in an animatic whiteboard?
I think that's a really good portrayal as well, and I think it's fun to see like the creative way people will put like DMs in animatics and other actual play podcasts as well.
Absolutely. Normally it's like a thought bubble or like a weird inanimate object that just comes to life, but
Yeah, no, I think it went well.
it went well.
Very cute.
Some of my favorite behind the scenes for Jasmine animating it, she was like, oh, I can't do horses anymore. I don't know how to draw horse limbs. How does it move? So that's why it's like piecing out at the very end.
I think that's so
Perfect.
though.
That was my favorite.
Because like the whole argument of it was like not sure how horse anatomy works in the first place.
Yeah.
Then it was drawn and we don't know how they work still. Horses are a mystery to us all. And they're so beautiful.
breathtaking.
Breathtaking, yeah.
Breathtaking.
So I'm thinking we get to like the Equestria TTRPG next.
Maybe. I don't know any equestrian TTRPGs out there.
There is one. There is a My Little Pony TTRPG.
Really?
Oh.
You mean My
It's
Little
apparently-
Spony?
It's apparently quite well made as well, I've heard.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times at like Good Games and stuff.
Wow.
Ooh.
We got to play it and we got to destroy it.
Yeah, I think so.
Gotta make it like a horror.
I'm scared.
I love turning blissful things into horror. I think it's one
Me
of the
too. As we saw, as per.
Season
Yeah, as per.
I have to say one of my favorite moments as well was the kind of quick solutions I had with Vivian in like
Yes.
the little like airproof tent that I made in the
loved
drowsy.
Honestly.
And I loved the thingamabob. It's like, oh no, it's alive now and it does what I say.
Yes.
Yeah, you were making Holly sweat. And also, thank
It's an
God you were
amazing
there.
electrolyte.
Honestly,
Yeah.
we would have died.
What was going to be involved with that? Like key and stuff.
I was just like, hey, look, there's like, you're in the wishing well chamber. There's a lever that you're going to pull. It's going to be a trap lever. You don't know it. How are you going to fix it? You're not going to fix it. You're just going to get knocked out. And then eventually the big bad evil guy, Jamie, and the fairy godmother, mischievous sprite, we're going to like swoop you up, kidnap you, put you in a room, and then like do their evil speech. And then you watch as everything gets obliterated.
Whoa.
Solid.
Well, you were just planning on everything being destroyed?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we really... That's so funny.
Really
Ouch.
foiled my plans.
Yeah, we got this like whole beautiful emotional ending, and I just kind of thought it was planned.
No.
No, you wanted us dead.
Well, I kind of anticipated having like that happy ending, even though Melon passed away and willingly passed away. But I think in the initial concepts of it was like the fairy godmothers were the epitome of like executive producers in Hollywood. And so they're the ones crafting like these happily ever afters, which is fueling the wishing magic. And
see.
like by the end of it, it'll be like you guys were playing into the tropes and all of the things. And so you were actually playing into their hands the entire time.
Wow, that would have been crazy. And then we derailed it
Yeah.
to make a happily ever after.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Like initially all the fairy godmothers were going to be evil,
Oh, wow.
but then it just ended up being the mischievous sprite instead because I thought that was a bit more simpler and, you know, I liked the fairy godmothers as well.
That's fair. Yeah, it's great writing a bad person until you start to like them. And then it's like, yeah, for sure.
But that was like some of the behind the scenes thinking that I had for like that campaign. And I kept flip flopping between a lot of different ideas. And then we eventually landed on what we had. And I'm very happy with it. It's
Yeah,
very
it was
cute.
really
Me
good.
too. It was beautiful.
It was great to listen to.
Yeah. The one thing that I did not expect for you guys to fixate on was the prison. There was not meant to be a prison in the fairy godmother headquarters. I think it all started
And you filled it with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had Jasmine on the podcast, famous like, I will kill any menagerie kind of person.
Yeah. My mistake, my oversight.
Yeah. You gotta remember the demographic of your players.
I do. I think that all started from like, so I think Melina asked the mystical crone, what are we protecting the world from? And then eventually I was like, there's like a prison or whatever.
Yes,
like
there's
a
something.
throwaway thing. And you just latched onto it and you're like, okay, we got to protect it from the inside and the outside. We got to do this.
Yeah.
To be fair, like, what do you mean?
It's very rational thinking.
Yeah.
Dangerous on the inside.
I don't know. I hear like the higher powers, which you obviously intended to frame as some kind of evil.
Yeah.
Mixed with a prison, kind of a recipe for I'm going to fixate on this evil
Absolutely.
thing for sure.
Yep.
That's all right. We followed the mushrooms.
We
Yeah.
followed the mushrooms.
We sure did.
And we got a cool vampire bat parody out of it as well.
Awesome.
I guess segueing into that, what was your favorite cold open that you listened to, if you remember any of them at all?
I liked the season finale one.
Ooh. All the fairy godmothers in the
Yeah,
reveal.
I liked them communing. It was very interesting, and it was like cool to hear them all like gathered together and discussing that. It was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because I was like relegating the fairy godmothers to the back seat at all times because I did not want to do the voices for them at all.
Yeah, which is so reasonable. So it was really cool to like have a moment where they do talk.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a sports announcer opening?
Yes. That was episode 2, I believe.
Yeah.
And it started with
About the coronation.
the parody and then it goes into the radio presenters
Yep.
Ooh,
talking about the
very
coronation.
Dungeons and Daddies.
Yes.
Very
Huge
cool.
inspirations for the podcast as well. It was parody radio presenters into the like actual theme song.
Yeah.
So like blending the meta of that. So do you like that
I
one?
like that one. Yeah. It felt like, the coronation is happening. And
Yeah.
I like that aspect of like there's something else
Yeah.
happening outside of our story. I like
It's
that about
cool.
a lot of those cold
Yeah,
openings.
it's cool to see that like the other side of it, because obviously we didn't experience that at the time either. We didn't hear the cold opens before our sessions, so
Not a cold open, but I really loved all like the cutaways at the end of the episodes, like after
The bloopers?
Yes, so funny. I was like setting up at work and I had my headphones on and I listened to the one after we find out that Jamie is Vaughn's sister, and I go, ugh.
I kissed your sister.
I said Enchanté! Like, that fucking killed me because I totally forgot about those little like interactions that we had amongst each other in reflection. I thought it was very sweet.
Yeah, no, I loved that one in particular as well because as I was editing, I was like, okay, I need to end it on some kind of cliffhanger. The natural cliffhanger is here, but you guys say really funny stuff over here. So I need to just like insert that at the end as like a mid credits.
I like that. That's really
It
cool.
worked. It almost felt like because we find out right at the end and then it's like, ugh,
Wait, how old is she?
who is that?
Something that I did retcon as well was like Jamie's age because I think initially described she was like a middle-aged like working mom boss lady.
Ooh.
And then I edited all of that out
Yeah, because Fawn's
I
like
realized,
19.
Yeah.
So canon, she's 18. But like
Was
when we were
introduced.
experiencing it as players in the session, she was a lot older than that. So that's why we ended up getting the
She was
reaction from
18
you.
when Fawn disappeared as a child.
No. So she was like 1 year younger than Fawn. I think that's the only way I could explain it. So
Yeah,
when
okay.
Fawn was 19, she was 18.
Oh, I understand. I've just done it again in real time.
Ew. You said Enchanté.
You did say that.
Stop, guys.
You're
I'm not a
weird.
pervert. I'm not a pervert.
How old is Quimby again?
10. Now who's the pervert?
This is getting
no
weirder
better.
and weirder. Let's
Yes.
move on.
Oh no.
Well,
There's some terrible things throughout. That podcast is tears in my eyes.
Oh my god.
I will jump in though because I did ask Jasmine to like give some responses to a lot of these questions I prepared in advance, and so her favorite cold open was episode 4. That was Jasmine's favorite cold opening. It was the flashback scene with Madeline, back with her original party.
yeah.
And
Oh
then,
my
like,
god. Oh my devastating end of episode 6, bro. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
No, yeah. You guys
We'll
heard
get
it.
to
You
it.
know what I'm talking about. Ouch.
But Jasmine said it was chilling and stressful. Hearing that cold open, like contrary to that, that was the one that I had the most fun editing.
That's cool.
It just means that I like my horror
that
stuff.
side of it as well.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
I've got no segue for that. I guess, like, what do you think is next for your characters? I know we had like a little epilogue.
I think I'm very comfortable with my food safari epilogue.
That's fun.
Unless there's a season 2.
There is a season 2 coming.
If there is a season 2.
Yeah.
And obviously that will change things. But as of where we are now, I'm food safari pilled until things change.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure there's time between our adventures if there is a season 2. Like, you can go on your food safari and come back a different Melina.
I'll return so much more worldly.
Like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Bit of
like
You steal
food.
people's cuisine.
Yes. Off the Nazis and gives them back.
Yeah, I give
That's
them
what that
back the
movie's about.
recipes they forgot or
Hell yeah.
something.
Or something.
That could be
right?
fun. Like, if we do a season 2, I feel like it'd be 2 years after season
Okay.
1.
Oh, plenty of time.
So,
We're getting old.
yeah.
We're going to be washed soon.
You're getting old. Vivian's already like 45.
She's
Vivian's
got 30
a fucking
minutes
clock
left.
on her.
She has got 30 minutes.
If you're going to have a 2-year time gap, there's going to be like 5 seasons tops before she's dead.
She's in like a baby
We're
Bjorn
gonna be writing a
strapped
new
to one of
character
us.
Ah, shit.
No.
Okay, maybe not 2 years into like ahead
She's
of time.
not that old. She's like 40.
40?
Right?
Yeah.
40, your body's on a timer.
Especially
She's
without
okay.
the pacifier. She's feeling those aches and pains now.
Anyway, but like I was thinking 2 years ahead of time because I think I stipulated that the epilogue was, what are you guys doing 5 years in advance? Like, what is happening? What's
Yeah.
the 5-year plan? And where do you end up? And so I think 2 years is like a good spot to put you in.
Yeah,
in
we're
that
like
little-
partway through our plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the depths of it. We've like kind of settled into new lives.
Fawn has a half-open sanctuary.
Wow.
Vivian's fighting publishers.
Yeah. I was thinking that Vivian becomes like a best-selling author.
I like the idea that if like when we go to the season 2, we're like kind of fed up with what we're currently doing.
Nice, yeah.
And
I
then
can
we
like that
bend
too.
back together.
It's like a nice
It's
little.
like I ate everything way too quickly. I got too excited, and I'm like kind of.
There's nothing
bored.
left.
Yeah, there's already nothing left. I've seen it all way too quick.
That's beautiful.
Do you think Quimby's still doing extreme sports? Like,
Absolutely, but
Water
she hasn't
sliding?
gotten that. Oh, I wanted to be like doing the crazy shit, but
Yeah,
I
the
guess
crazy
she's
shit like water
just like
slides and-
no, like jacking the plane and stuff. You know what? Listening to that back, I felt like an idiot. But what about zipline made me think, wow.
Do you think when we return, you're going to be at the on again or the off again phase with Jamie?
yeah.
To the on.
Off
commit,
again.
Commit to the on.
Off again, because that could be a little emo, and then maybe a little tiny.
It's like fresh off again, so like you're kind of in your like.
But it's like the 4th time, so I'm
Yeah.
kind of like jaded about it. I'm like, ugh. I don't think I
like
want to
that.
do that anymore. And then I'll
Yeah.
be like, oh,
Yeah.
Fawn, you look just like her. Or is that too much?
Ooh.
I could be
think
honest.
that's
That's not
fun.
too much. That's funny.
Fawn
Could be
the
fun.
rebound.
Ooh,
Love
that
that.
doesn't. I should leave Fawn alone.
Probably.
Mine
Probably
probably.
have more trauma.
Fawn and their 30 kids.
31. Let's go.
The 30 dear kids and the one like human one.
One. Oh, ew. Yeah, true.
That you had
Family
with a
photo.
19-year-old. I guess 21 at
10.
that point, so it's fine.
I think it'd be like, I was wondering, oops, sorry. I
Sorry.
was thinking about like,
Did that. I'm sorry.
you had no control over that
I'm
siren.
sorry.
It's fine.
I actually called them here.
Everyone get out right now.
They're looking for her.
Oh, Jasmine said they have no idea.
Awesome.
Solid.
But they suspect that eventually Fawn will get bored in the sanctuary and move on to new things. Maybe become
Yeah.
a bounty hunter
Ooh, that's kinda cold.
and like
Makes sense.
hunting poachers
That's ironic.
and abusive fathers.
Bounty hunter, but for the only two things that impacted me as a kid.
Yeah.
Just hunting in general.
Totally selfless line of work.
And bringing bad guys to justice would be cathartic for him, especially poachers and those who mistreat their kids.
Yeah, real amazing.
I guess following on from like what you are interested in seeing what happens to your character next, where would you like to see the story go? Because we had a lot of like little breadcrumb moments of like the fiance or your 40 siblings and your like missing parentage. Like what is that? I have nothing for Melina. Melina's solid.
Melina is so well adjusted. It would be pretty epic if some deep dark secret.
I like being the control variable here, relatively.
Nice.
I mean,
not to go back to the
still
children
insane.
thing.
yeah, but like easy season 2 is like, oh, you've got to get the secret ingredient from this cave.
Yeah, true. There's something there. I wouldn't mind either like having season 2 like hone in and explore one of the characters or a couple of them, maybe intertwine them.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, I would love the idea of seeing like the same characters be transported to another game system just for the fun of that. Like as example off the top of my head, there's like, if anyone knows Vampire the Masquerade, there's another like World of Darkness section for being a vampire hunter, and I think the idea of them getting like shunted to this world and then having to deal with like an urban city, and then also there's like vampires here, and then having to find them and figure out what to do with them to try and get back to the princess realm or whatever.
And Vivian's 40.
Yeah, and Vivian's 40. And
Real world, present day.
yeah, it's beautiful. But I wouldn't mind seeing stuff like that. I think especially with how fun it is being like, you know, princesses that are kind of sweet but kind of MA15 plus. I think it'd be really funny to like see them go from like fairy tale land to something just like messed up.
Yeah.
Like Alien the role-playing game.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, just having them, you know, trapped on the Nostromo or something like that.
Oh my god, we have to do that.
Yeah,
we have to do that.
That's always been a pipe dream of mine. Or like, you know, go into Cyberpunk and have to get like chromed up. But you know, no matter where we go, we have to commit to the themes we stuck with almost. Like
That's amazing.
I will stay a chef no matter where I go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Lofty goal though, of course.
I really like that as a concept. I also feel like you've dropped a few little tidbits about where we could be going for season 2. And now that we've had time together, our like backstories are intertwined.
Yes.
Like to bring up stuff that we've probably totally forgotten about and weave that in and like have it be like a whole tangent.
Yeah.
Like part of the plot would be.
Totally.
Yeah. Re-listening to like the weird little like 25-minute long tangents that we went on was very interesting.
Yeah, there's heaps of stuff that I can mine out of that. And
Absolutely.
I'll eventually get down and like structure it properly, but
Time skip reunions on their own are always a little bit fun and interesting to explore as well, because it's like you're redoing everyone's backstory almost, but like you're all, you know, still know each other.
softly rebooting,
Yeah, there's something in that too.
Yeah.
I think I do like the idea about Vivian's lost fiance. There was a different game system that Holly had shown us before, which was the
Good Society, Regency era,
Ooh.
letter writing.
which I think would be
remember
perfect for that.
one. That'd be cool. That'd be a
Especially
good
with like
blend
all
of
the
that as
political
well.
drama.
And Cass loves all like the social maneuvering stuff as well.
yeah.
It's perfect for
I
it.
think the roleplay focused TTRPGs are always a lot more fun, and I think a lot more digestible in podcast format as well. Beyond the like, you know, having to roll for numbers every 5 seconds. Like, I don't think we could ever do Shadowrun as an example.
I
That would
tried
just be
Shadowrun, it was
miserable
bad.
to try and like, unless we have like some beautiful like number heavy fans and love you to death.
we do love you.
But I think translating that on like a broader scale would be kind of tough.
Oh yeah, it'd be so tough. I would not be able to like DM Shadowrun. And saying that,
I'd rather die.
yeah. And saying that, would you guys be interested in DMing a session for Princesses of the Realms or spin-off?
Given like the condensed nature of like the sessions that we've done, like the weekend long stuff, I think I could feasibly run that.
I could not at this
fine.
point that was my first time playing.
It was your first time playing. You did fantastic as well.
You did really
you.
well. Like,
Thank you. I had a lot of fun. You guys are really funny and cool.
I think something to take from Quimby's first time doing a TTRPG is they're not hard to get into. Beyond the need for friends, I think, you know, picking like that can be kind of tough.
That's the biggest obstacle.
Loser.
Finding like
You're
a few
right.
friends who all have the same schedule is like the toughest part.
You are so right.
But But, you know, reading a book and then having some friends over who just need to roll one dice when they're told to, but then just like making up a character. That's the whole game.
I thought I'd be so lost in the source and you guys would like totally know what was going on. But you can really like feel out the parameters of like what is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's like great when you're someone who's willing to like just, you know, poke at those boundaries a little bit. And I think the systems that reward that are the best systems too. Just like, you know, poking a little bit like, can I do this stupid thing? And the answer should be yes as much as possible.
Yes, totally.
Can I animate a console to life and then destroy this big secret weapon?
That's what the spell says.
It actually reminds me of like, there was this like Twitter post I saw. It was like someone's like, I've got enough money to upgrade my homunculus, and they did a poll of like, do I want to add like fear response, a sense of touch, and then I like thought about the keyboard. You know, if you could upgrade the keyboard homunculus you created.
Yeah. Oh Jesus!
Yeah, the idea of disassembling the telescope, the amplifier, while it was alive, that was confronting.
I think we should have given it a pain response first.
Oh my god. You laughed a little bit too hard after you said that.
Maybe that's my bad. Holly can cut that out.
Snip, snip.
That is not getting cut.
But I did love the way that spells work in Perils and Princesses, though. Like, they were really, really fun.
Yeah,
I want to explore more of them.
With the Perils and Princesses system's really nice because a lot of the spells are so, like, utility first, combat second, that there's just so much you can do. Because, like, Melina was fundamentally a spellcaster, but it just never felt that way. And I think that was really fun. Like, the way it, like, so heavily encouraged, like, flavoring, and the way the, like, classes, I put in quotation marks, were flavored, was just really nice for the roleplay side of things. Like, me being able to have my, like, essentially hammer space apron of baked goods that all do magical things. That's like pretty much in the rule set. It says you have like a variety of baked goodies that do a variety of things. That wasn't as flavored as it sounds. That was all like mechanically in there, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. And even though they were like limited to certain effects, it was all very like run and gun of like going, oh, I wanted to do this. I've got something prepared. Now it's got this associated to it and it can do this.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. I think class-wise, all of you are very far removed from spellcasting, except for Quimby and Melina.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we didn't get much... We didn't do a lot of the Enchanted Voice stuff.
I sang.
You sang a lot. You sang a lot towards the second half of it. I just wish they gave you...
The guards fell asleep.
They did.
In the... True. At one point... Oh, they spooned. At one point in like episode 3 or 4, I was like, guys, like, you know, just letting everyone know.
I can do this.
Just me sobering up to the fact that I could do that.
Yeah. But there was like so many times during the record that you were like, oh, can I shatter it with my voice? And I'm like, I don't have anything puzzled for you.
It's totally fine. So it's whatever.
Season 2. Season 2.
Season 2 is going to be all made of glass.
Yeah. We're going to be in it.
I should have shattered your fucking slippers.
That would have been so evil.
That would have been epic.
Maybe I should have been the one that turned evil, and then you could have had an excuse to do so.
That just didn't...
I still have the slippers, so...
Any magical items, maybe not the consumable spells.
I will fight tooth and nail to keep these slippers.
You're not keeping those slippers.
I'm keeping those slippers.
No, you ain't.
You're going to steal them? Is that what you're threatening?
I'm going to fucking destroy them.
Don't do this to me.
If I remember.
I am banking on your amnesia.
I'm going to forget. You're right.
But I think like next time as a dungeon master, things that I need to do more for you guys is like, okay, now we're out of the headquarters. You can go to the merchant stalls and like go buy consumable products like magical spells. You can go to the library to research spells and collect them and whatnot.
Yeah, I think navigating like when downtime is always kind of tough as like a DM. But at the same time, I guess the like two-shot-ish nature of this, there isn't really a need for like downtime because it's not like a campaign long like thing where we're needing to constantly like top up on our potions and rations and stuff. It did happen over a weekend.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been if we had like downtime on that.
We did have a shopping event. We went to the armory and went...
This is true. We did go to the armory. I completely forgot about that.
That's where we got all our stuff.
Yeah. So we did kind of have a downtime thing then, I guess. Yeah, good point.
I just want to give you guys more of that though, because there's like so much that we still haven't explored in Perils and Princesses.
I absolutely loved the spells and stuff I got. As soon as I got them, I was like, oh, I have so many ideas, and I was so keen. I was so happy about the control panel. I was a bit sad about my performance though, in the delivery of my excitement. I've got this great chaotic idea, and then I just kind of built it up, and then it just worked. Yeah,
but it worked.
It was
it's like no
anticlimactic.
resistance.
It was
There's
still
no
like a beautiful
conflict.
derailment of what Holly intended. I think that adds more impact to it as well. But yeah, I think it just is like a really fun sandbox.
Yeah.
Very fun first as well, because Tactician is so...
Oh my goodness.
So
I didn't realize I was damage. I didn't realize I was damage oriented.
Yeah.
I didn't realize either.
Was it? Did you mention in the podcast that the sprite had its health doubled?
I think you did.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. It was literally like 10 minutes ago, but I'm trying to... I'm trying to remember.
You'd be correct. I concur.
Yeah, I know you doubled the sprite's health, and we still
just
two-shot
sniped
it.
them.
Well,
Yeah.
You did.
Two-shot it.
Yeah.
I did 1 damage.
Yeah. Well, you had 2 Sage Intellects on the team and one that was level 4 where you guys were level 2. Also foreseeing you leveling up as well.
Yeah,
In season
awesome.
2, of course. So you'll be
Which
level
will be
3. You get
interesting.
like some new features, which
Hell
is
yeah.
not a lot, but like
It's
still
something. It's a
interesting
lot.
stuff.
Yeah.
Mama,
It's
I'll
really
The
take
cool.
game
it.
is pretty front-loaded generally, but
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, and there's not much like room for growth after you reach level 4 unless you like start multi-classing, I think.
I see.
But yeah,
It's not meant for long progression. It's just
not. It's very quick,
fun.
it's very short.
I think that's beautiful. These are the best kinds of TTRPGs in my opinion.
I keep forgetting that Jasmine has input as well. Jasmine said for where they would like to see the story go, would love to tackle the insane, horrifying system of the fairy godmothers themselves. I don't entirely know what that means.
I think that is so beautifully cryptic.
Yeah, we didn't see enough of what the fuck they were on.
I hope we can find Jasmine to get new information.
Some more information.
Maybe just go on Pokemon hunting.
Maybe for the shiny
'Cause,
Pokemon.
Yeah, I think that's what should be alluding to here is what the fuck were they doing with those Pokemon?
True.
Yeah.
Was there a Ditto involved? Sorry.
That was ew. You can leave this episode early if you want.
Oh, there was an additional thing that Jasmine said. Some other things as a bonus. When Melon was dying and it was all dramatic and such, I don't remember what happened, but I was going to say something about how this was a trick. And if we set her free, she'd end us all and we couldn't trust her. And then I looked up and saw Holly crying and realized, no, this is real. And even though arguing is something Fawn may have done, I couldn't bring myself to interrupt you saying goodbye to your princess. No regrets. See, I can keep my mouth shut when I want to.
Wow.
Good
That's
stuff,
so
James.
funny.
That would have been I don't know how I would have reacted if Jasmine was like, she's lying.
Yeah, we had like another 40-minute discussion on whether or not we should execute this poor lady.
Yeah, there was so much going back and forth of what do we do with Melon? Do we trust X and Y, Z and blah, 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 blah.
True.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with a lot of these stories is you don't truly know. You just kind of got to commit to it.
Yeah.
And I think all of us were so uncertain. We didn't want to get it wrong. And I think knowing that the story was meant to have an unhappy ending, it has helped me realize that all that
did the right thing.
uncertainty was warranted.
Yeah. Yep.
The most catastrophic unhappy ending as well. Watch the world burn.
That was heavily inspired, the whole Madeline thing was inspired by a short story from France, I believe. And it was about how this entire city's utopian happiness was dependent on this one
child.
person suffering underneath the city all by themselves. And I was
I heard that.
Yeah. I was like, that'd be a cool concept to explore in a TTRPG. What do you do when
it's really
somebody
fun.
has all of the weight of the world on their shoulders and then eventually everyone's like, well...
And part of the story was that everybody who was in the city when they came of age went and met the child. And that every person who's ever met the child agreed that this was the best system.
What?
It was just
It's
crazy.
Oh my
a
god,
messed up
that
story.
is so sad.
Yeah.
What?
And there was a whole bunch of counter responses too, I heard, about that book. I don't know all the other ones, but I think one of the counter stories was that everybody who would have said no to the child wasn't allowed to stop it and were exiled. And then they created their own society. And having experienced that utopia before, what would their society look like? And then they ended up accidentally making their own version of it. It was very bleak.
Oh my god, that's so upsetting. Yeah.
Sorry to leave it on a dour note.
No, it was a very
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah. I love morality.
morality's great. I love not having them.
I like arguing morality.
You loved it so
Yeah,
much.
I always feel like if there's a villain who's so like convicted of that they're right, something is wrong with them.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you can just at least get them to doubt themselves, so you've already won. Because they're less likely to go through with what they're doing.
Yeah.
And Vivian's whole thing was like, we need to talk people down. We're not fighting people unless it's necessary.
For sure. And I think that's always fun to take the pacifist route on these.
Yeah, and then she shot the Sprite.
Yeah. Glocked.
Necessary. Totally necessary. Commit.
I'm sorry. I just like it when people commit.
Yeah, we know.
Is that going to become my catchphrase? That's one we've become famous for. It's the hat lady with the hat lady who has to commit.
Love that.
She has to.
Commit, quoted, hat lady. That'll be a sticker somewhere.
Let's do it.
So what's the next question?
Next question. I don't really have a next question, but I've got one off the dome. What was your favorite flashback for the
Mine.
princesses? Yours, Melina's? I really loved your flashback and like the taming of the dragon and putting it to sleep. So
I thought
cool.
I stumbled upon a very cute plot for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I went traditional when everyone else didn't. To an extent.
To
I
an
think you were the
extent.
next closest.
Yeah, but yeah, you're definitely the traditional.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I think it allows the others to have more like fantastical without just having like an entire party of like everyone just has an insane princess subplot.
If everybody's unique, nobody's unique.
Exactly. So where I can be the normal one so everyone else can be unique, which was purely coincidental. I just really like chef-based classes in stuff. Like I think they're very fun. There's like a couple of games that have chef classes and I always like running them as well. So it's just funny in my head. And then it just worked out that way.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved, in terms of sound designing, my favorite one was Vivian's.
Yeah, with all the whites and the noises.
Very cool. I liked yours a lot as well.
Cool.
It was carried a lot by music as well.
It
and,
was.
like,
I was
emphasizing
really happy about the music on that. I felt like when I was telling the story, it was a bit monologue-y and a bit bland. Well, there was a lot of detail involved, and I was very excited for it.
I loved the detail, and so I was just trying to like find ways of like emphasizing.
And the
it for
music
you.
helped heaps. Heaps. I really appreciated it.
Yeah, some of you had a fun sound design flashback as well. I really liked doing that one too.
Yes, in the mines.
The mind,
With the children.
the voices.
Yeah, that was fun. I like don't even know. I think I was just like lucidly trying to figure out what my backstory was. Like, you know, when you just like free write,
Yeah.
but I wasn't writing. I was just like, and then what if this happened? And then what if this happened? And I feel like it all kind of fell into place. I don't know.
I think that's the beauty of writing a character, and especially like your first act, well, like a second character in
It
a
was very
TTRPG.
lucid. It was fun.
Yeah.
I think Fawn got a lot more detail though. I think Fawn had like 4 flashbacks.
3 flashbacks.
3 flashbacks.
Fawn was like a focus in the story though.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
I
context.
think
we
was very
needed.
fun.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot as well.
My favorite of the parts for Fawns was the final one. And so that had a lot of like robust sound design that I put into it because I was like, this has to be very meaningful and impactful. And so like the Fawn getting shot and
that was excellent.
the thunder.
Yeah, that was epic. The gunshot, that like you felt the weight of that. Anyway, I have a question for everyone, if I may.
Yeah.
Who was everyone's least favorite character out of like the weird side characters that we met?
At least.
Oh.
Is that evil as a question?
No, that's not evil. It's a question. So, as a reminder of our NPCs, all of the fairy godmothers, the mischievous sprite, mystical crone, the
Troll?
whispering mist, the troll,
Fucking bridge troll.
and the trolls, their family, cobbles, session 0 side character, Doug. Doug was your
Oh
child.
God, I remember Doug. We found him.
Gregory's another NPC that we had. Who else was there? The kitchen chefs,
Yeah.
the little dancing flower.
Oh,
So many.
My problem is I have no negative feelings about any of them. So to go to least favorite is just like what am I most neutral about? Which one do I have the least
Okay, go
excitement
for your
about?
most favorite.
Most favorite?
The trolls.
You love the troll?
He's like,
Bombastic side-eye. They were
Okay, so we know what the
pissing me
least favorite
off.
ones are for the others.
How dare you?
I thought the like punchline of the like can't swim in that initial
that was
like meeting
hilarious.
of them was just so funny that like my opinion of them was elevated. They were just so sweet. Yeah, I know they tried to be evil later, but they really didn't do a good job at it either.
They
I
didn't.
feel. So that made me happier. Like they were just so blissful and stupid, and that made me happy.
Saw them. It makes you wonder, like, what Quimby's troll father was like, and if any of them are all the same.
Trauma. What was
the
it,
same
daddy
I didn't
trauma?
imagine it was the same type of troll.
I
We'll
think
have
they'd
to
be
explore.
similar because the trolls on the land were made of stone,
Yes.
so they'd sink, and I lived in a cave where there's like stone and mineral.
Anybody else favorite NPCs? What was your favorite NPC? Did we get to that, Alicia?
Cobbles.
Cobbles. I agree.
That's the airless rabbit.
No, he was just so.
He's just sized that way. He's
so
not.
nice.
He doesn't look like that. He's just about that size.
What was
Just the
Jasmine's favorite
conversation.
NPC?
Jazz, I
It wasn't a
don't
question
know.
on the list, so
I really
guess-
don't know.
That's
Jasmine, please come home and answer this question.
Jasmine, please. I know you listen to the podcast. I'm begging you.
Wherever you are.
We miss you.
I do have to break the bit. Jasmine is not missing. They're on holiday. Do not be
Jasmine is
concerned.
missing.
Jasmine, please, if
Oh,
you,
he really
if
doesn't
you
want the
know
listeners to be
Jasmine
concerned.
Cruise ship has
personally,
But like, grab a carton of milk. I am not kidding.
you will see Jasmine's face on the side of that carton.
Right.
She was
Anyway.
last spotted in Griffith, Queensland.
Any sponsored
That was
questions?
crazy.
No sponsored questions, but we've got a very loyal subscriber named Kitty Cat 1648 who has asked a total of 10 questions. So we're going to like
Right, let's
rapid
do it
fire
rapid
through
fire.
Okay.
of this.
them. Righto, ready?
Thanks, kitty cat.
Did you guys have any characters or even princesses that you based your character off or got inspiration from?
My character's accidentally named after a boss in Elden Ring, but I didn't realize that until after I named her, and I just kind of committed to it.
Epic.
She was originally Melina, but everyone started saying Melina, and I'm like, this is better because of the Elden Ring boss.
Cool. Alicia?
I
Cass?
didn't actively base her off anyone. Is there someone that she reminds you of?
No idea. Get in the comments.
Yeah, let me know. I just wanted to have an epic like shield maiden.
Yeah.
Actually, Eowyn from The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, hell yeah.
Am I thinking of the right person?
Probably, yeah.
I have
Fucking
no
let's
idea.
go.
I've never watched.
Yeah, when she's like practicing. Anyway, that's who I based it off. There.
I just wanted to feel like an old lady when the magic was getting broken.
Yeah, which is awesome.
It's fun. Very fun conceptually.
Translated.
What is the troll's name? You will never know.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
even think I came
Murphy.
up with a name. I think I came up with a name.
Murphy's
somewhere
a
in a doc
great
somewhere.
name.
Say Murphy in the troll voice.
We dub him Murphy. I'm Murphy.
Yeah, see?
Murphy's great.
Murphy.
If you continue, would you continue telling these character stories or other princesses since you did an epilogue for them? I think we kind of covered that, but
I would love to keep being Melina.
I would love to keep being Quimby.
I want the story to continue, but I keep being Melina, regardless of where this goes.
Yeah, let's start portal jumping. So
I want to portal jump as Melina. I don't care where I go.
I also want to portal jump as Melina. Let's all play as
I'm gonna
Melina.
have like frying pan armor in a fantasy RPG or something.
That's
or,
hot. Let's do
I feel
it.
like that's a fun spin-off. Like,
You know, I
We're
want to.
all
mini
ourselves,
quest.
but clones of Melina.
I want to
Yeah.
go sci-fi.
Our
I want to
variations
go
of
Call of
Melina.
Cthulhu.
yeah.
Melina, Colina, Valina, Felina. That's everyone.
Cass nodded her head and was like, yeah.
Yeah.
We continue playing. I imagine season 2 is very much hindered around your character as well anyway, so... Is
don't wanna play
Cobbles
anymore
doing
now.
okay?
Is Cobbles doing okay? No, I fucking drop kicked him.
Oh my god. Is he alive?
No, he's fine.
I think
What was
he's
the last
alive.
thing?
Yeah, he was chilling, right?
The last time that we heard from him was in episode 5.
He was helping us with the
intro.
pipes.
Yeah, he was fixing up the CCTV cameras. And he was like, oh, where are the princesses? What are they up to? And then he was seeing Jasmine fight a dog. So
Yeah, no, I think he's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a bit overworked, but that's pretty normal.
Yeah, justice
think-
for
And that's what it's like to be an engineer.
Cobbles
Yeah.
Cobbles needs to go on a sabbatical.
Deserved.
It's time.
This is more of a Jasmine question, but did Fawn ever visit his kids again?
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
probably.
All the time.
Not.
I reckon
Actually, that is deer mentality.
That is exactly
you kind of
the
just abandon
mentality.
them as a deer.
I think what happened was
Jazz is committed to that. Jazz is so committed to
I really
abandoning
want
the
so
children.
many repercussions to Fawn's like player error as a deer.
guys, I have a vision. I imagine that Fawn is like doing the equivalent of shopping at like a grocery store, and he looks up and he sees a deer child on its hind legs that looks eerily like him as a deer, and then kind of like the deer child like turns because it's like, I think that guy's staring
He
at me,
sees, like, a
and Fawn
taxidermy
still
store.
has his antlers on, and there's like a moment of recognition,
So-
and then Fawn has to like fuck off.
That's how we begin Call of Cthulhu.
And so all of this is canon because Jasmine is not here with us to
Yeah.
defend themselves
They
because
cannot-
they're missing.
Yeah.
Presumed
In case
dead.
you forgot.
Next question. What is Melina's favorite dish to cook and or eat?
You can't ask me this question. I never thought that far ahead. Melina's definitely more a baker than a like cook.
I reckon
Can obviously
an apple
do
crumble.
both. Apple crumble's a good shout, I think.
Maybe like a quiche or something.
Also a rock or something.
I'll go. I'll go with my own personal bias, and like a baked cheesecake would be a good one.
Oh, yes.
It's kind of swag.
Dense.
Yum.
Nice. Question for Vivian. What is Vivian's favorite book?
I think it would become her book that she writes, mostly because I feel like she gets a bit obsessive. As she's writing this book, she gets annoyed that she doesn't have like this one edition of this one version of this one tale, and she gets so proud of it. It becomes a favorite. But before that, I reckon it'd be just like
The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
oh my goodness, The Art of the Deal.
That's how you, no, The Art of War is how you learn the tactician stuff. I
Yeah,
think.
exactly. No, I think it'd actually just be her gardening books.
That's very fair. That's smart.
Cute. Very cute.
That's cute.
Kind of like a question for Quimby's character.
Yay.
But also kind of like tied with Vivian as well. It was like, so Vivian fiance ? And then it immediately went to the troll father and the voices ?
True. Those are two statements that relate to us.
I guess that's something we'll explore in season 2 more or less. Oh, but then Kitty Cat also recommended a TTRPG, City of Mist and Legends in the Mist.
Yes.
They're resounding, yes.
No. Kidding. I don't know what's going on.
City of Mist is so conceptually weird and hard to explain, but it's simultaneously one of the like funkiest concepts.
Yeah.
It's like an urban fantasy detective like RPG in a city, but the like mist that is like described in the title is like a storybook character that embodies like key players in the world.
Yeah.
But it's like anything from like Jesus to Batman.
Excalibur and
So like you could have like
That's dope.
like an Arthurian Knights of the Round Table,
That's-
like crime syndicate, and they're like all embodied through that character, and their abilities and what they can do is based on that character. And there's a lot of storybook expression on how that works. Like a lot of the character examples are like characters embodying like Red Riding Hood and stuff as well. Obviously because when they advertise this, they have to go into public domain.
Yep.
But you can take it anywhere, and it's really, really cool. And I think there'd be something really meta about having like the fairy tale princesses, then having
them embodied.
a character they're connected to being something else from like another story. Yeah. There's layers to
That'd
that,
be
which
wild.
would be really interesting to explore. That is a great idea.
I was like doing some surface level research.
It's a hard one to
very
like
interesting.
fully read into, because they don't explain it super well, and it's hard to explain super well until you like properly read into what's going on. But it is really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the one TTRPG system I think we got recommended.
Yeah.
The only one. But we're totally down to do more interesting ones as well.
I'm glad that the big commenting fan is a like expanded TTRPG person.
Hell yeah. We love it. We love exploring more than just D&D.
Yes.
But thank you, Kitty Cat. Moving on to Twee Umbrella 342. E.
Totally.
That was kind of a meme like 10 years ago at this point. It's kind of embarrassing.
What does that mean?
No, I'm kidding.
What What is that? I actually don't have any idea what's going on right now.
Relic, please explain yourself.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My questions I wrote here was, what does that mean? In what
we
context
appreciate
is this
your
from?
comment for what it does for the algorithm.
Yes,
True.
we do really
But
appreciate
also,
it.
Like, thank you. Like, genuinely from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, the E
Keep
is
listening to
awesome.
us. We love you. Love seeing you in the live listens as well. Not a question, a statement from Paris 1627. Listening to this feels like being in a room with my friends. ... Oh wait.
Paris.
Yeah.
Well, don't dox her.
Sorry. Beep that. Beep that.
Yeah, beat that.
Our friend Paris. Yeah.
Sorry, Paris.
Yeah.
But hi, Paris.
Hello.
Sorry, Paris. I doxed you.
This entire episode is dedicated to you, and you're DMing next.
Ooh. Also, comment your full address.
No. Oh my god. Anyway, more of a theory than a question from Madzia. What was it? It was, I actually already have a theory about Quimby that her father actually was the troll, because I think she got the idea of the troll being her father because it was her father and thought the kidnapped children were her siblings. Most importantly, she mentioned vaguely remembering a mother figure but not a father figure. True. Because I believe the father was there all along.
Ooh.
What do you think?
That's probably why I've got these big, strong, chiseled muscles. And a rock for a brain.
Ooh.
Accurate.
I'm telling you.
Chiseling away at those doors.
You know what? It was always like a mother kind of beckoning. There's something about the warmth of like a maternal figure, you know?
Yeah. We can explore it. I've got ideas of where I think Quimby's backstory can be taken.
I would love to see where I land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the idea.
Is
of
it
that.
canon? Maybe.
Tune in for season 2.
Grim Reaper said, I went from Melon, no! With lots of crying emojis to non-stop laughter there at the end. Everyone thought I was going insane.
Because of our, like...
our send-off for Madeline.
Oh,
yeah.
Back to back with the what we get up to next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they love the series and can't wait to see what's next. Really excited to see where it goes to. Edna Potter 97 said, cool.
Cool right back at
Cool
ya.
right back at you.
Get some sunglasses on that.
Hell yeah. Tara Cooper 9476 said, so I've got two sentiments right now. One, what system is this? I'm a wanting to give it a read.
I'm a wanting to read that.
Give it a read. And two, if they were a part of this group, my character would be absolutely smitten with Fawn and be absolutely a terrible flirt with him.
There cannot be two absolute divas on the team.
Yeah.
You had to diva off.
We appreciate it though.
I'll diva you down to the bone, girl. You better back off.
Finally got something for the shadow.
The system we're playing is Perils and Princesses, which is a really cool little TTRPG system created by Ryan over at Outrider Creative. Highly recommend you check it out. They have lots of DLCs coming along. Not DLCs, expanded content that are really fun. So highly recommend.
You do have to download the booklets. So does that make it technically a DLC?
Oh, technically, yeah. But you can also get physical versions of it. So
if you get the downloaded version, it's DLC. And if you get a book, it's expanded content.
Exactly. Hell Valiant said, love the song at the start. MCR is sounding a little different these days. Emoji face. I had a lot of fun recording that parody. And then going back to Kitty Cat 1648, they also said, do you guys have a Discord or Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever else there is going for Princesses of the Realms? We don't have any of those except for an Instagram at the moment. And we're on TikTok, also on YouTube. Might be looking to do something in Discord because that seems to be the space that most podcasts end up like diverging into.
True. If people want to listen with us, maybe that's a good... How have you been doing the live listens?
We've been premiering the episodes on YouTube.
Right.
And then
totally.
I don't think the live chat is saved after that premiere. So it's kind of sad going, well, that's the last time I'll see that. Everyone. But it was a nice moment. Thank you.
Yeah, it is nice like that, I reckon.
And I like doing the live listens as well. Our numbers did dwindle towards the end of it, but those who stayed,
power to you.
They're the true ones. They're the real ones. But yeah, I think that's all the questions that we have today. And Tally's gone.
Tally's
also
missing now.
Armed and dangerous. So if you see our friend Tally or Jasmine, please contact the police and do not approach.
Do not get too close, totally. And don't let us know. It's over. We don't need to know.
We gave up.
I can't handle this anymore.
But yeah, thank you for listening to the show. Really stoked about where it's heading. And a little tease of season 2 is that wedding bells, invited to a wedding.
Ooh, shit. Who's getting married?
Who's getting married?
Comment down below.
Who do you think's getting married?
Who do you want to get married?
Ooh.
Who is your ultimate ship in this?
It's got to be the trolls.
The troll family?
I mean, they're already married.
No. It's what's his name?
Murphy? Is that what we said his name
and
was?
I thought he was the child. Murphy
and your dad.
I've got 2 dads.
Yeah, you're about to.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Still no mother.
No need.
No need. We got 2 dads. Fuck yeah.
But that's where we're going to leave it.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Goodbye, and thank you, Holly.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Boop.